311 days.
I know.
Before go live.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Why it's different? So this and this.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Oh, okay. So I have.
Thank you for that. I want to go ahead and call to order the Town Council meeting for March 10th, 2026 to order. And I just want to say first, it was such a great thing to walk in on, Mayor Pro Tem Mahaffey. We had the Scouting of America Troop 2051. They led a council meeting, and what was the verdict? I mean,
They decided not to ban Girl Scout cookies by a close 3-2 vote.
oh my gosh, 3-2. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a great day in Apex. What I would like to do is I'll read a statement, and then we'll move to the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. The town of Apex values and celebrates diversity and inclusion. We see diversity as a strength that binds our community together. Inviting members from different faith communities to deliver the invocation at the beginning of our council meetings supports this unity. Recognizing that not everyone practices the same traditions, we welcome you to have a private moment of silence. And what I would like to do now is take a moment of peace for our town and, of course, the state, the nation, and around the world. So please join me in a moment of peace. Thank you so much. I would like to call up now Scouting America, Troop 2051. If you would come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, and if we have everyone to please stand as they walk. I guess y'all can just stay right there, it's fine. Okay. All right, it's all yours.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All right, move down the agenda. We now have announcements and petitions by the governing body, and we'll rotate around. Mayor Pro Tem Mahaffey.
I had no comments today, sir.
Thank you. Councilmember Gray.
Just a few comments to make. I want to say thanks to the men and women of our Apex Chamber for their great hosting of Run the Peak, as well as our Parks and Recreation staff. They did a great job, and I think a good time was had by all, or at least by many that were there. So always great to get out and enjoy the environment. Want to take one special, just a moment to ask everyone to recognize and remember that we've had 7 fallen military service members over the last 2 weeks. And I think it's important that we remember them and understand that that's a sacrifice that is not only made by those who pass, but by their family members. So keep them in their prayers as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Zigerman.
Dr. Paulo. I was going to say that tomorrow late afternoon, 4:45, we have the Multimodal Transportation Advisory Board meeting, open session. So come watch us if you want.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Councilmember Moo.
I want to show my appreciation to all the women tonight and everywhere. It's Women Appreciation Month, and we just celebrated the International Women's Day. So, women, because of us, the world is a better place. So, let's go! Yay!
All right.
Great.
Thank you, Councilmember Moo. All right, fired up. Councilman Reese.
I'll just echo just a little bit about what Councilmember Gray just said, and Councilmember Moo as well. I agree with all those comments. I just wanted to point out that the Chamber of Commerce Run the Peak was a wonderful event, sold out corporate sponsorships. So I'm so thankful to this community for that support. and also had more than 730 some runners.
Yes, it was big.
And so it was just a wonderful community event. Even if you don't run, just come out and watch it like I did.
Thank you. And I just want to bring up, I was invited to the Justice Heights community, which is where I grew up, and I just want to thank the town of Apex, of course, for the Neighborhood Beautification Grant Program. There was a neglected pond in the neighborhood, and we had many volunteers that came out, and they started at 10 a.m. in the morning, and my understanding they finished at 7. So great work, nonprofit partners, Habitat for Humanity of Wake County. We planted forward for landscape and design, the Lighthouse Project, and the Peak Church, and F3. So thank you to everyone who participated in that. And that wraps up that section of the agenda. All right, we'll move now to adoption of the regular meeting agenda. And are there any recommended changes or add-ons?
Motion approved.
All right, motion, Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Second, Councilman Gray. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We move now to consent agenda. Consent agenda is in front of you. Is there any recommended changes before we approve? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
All right, motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Town manager report. Mr. Vosberg.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. I just have a few items for you this evening. I'll start with our electric meter upgrade numbers. We just hit the over 11,000 mark as we continue to change those out, again with the completion sometime this fall. And things are still trending well on that front. Next, the Salem streetscaping project is well underway. If you've been downtown, we want to remind everybody downtown is open for business. So please show love to all Apex business, but in particular to our downtown business right now, as they've got a little bit of disruption in front on Salem. So right now, the storm drainage system has been put in. They're also working to put the underground conduit in, and the next you will start to see the foundations for the streetlight poles. So that's starting to get exciting with our street lighting coming in, and they're going to found this interesting. They're doing the underground soil cells. So as we plant trees, you've got to have some soil underneath so that the roots can thrive. So they'll be installing some of those soil cells to help the trees thrive as we plant those. Next is an update on the Peakway Southwest Connector. And you can see definitely tell that's a bridge, right? So the bridge construction is in progress. The next step on that will be to pour the bridge deck. So that will start to take shape. And they'll be now starting on the traffic signal pole foundations, and then you'll start to see those traffic lights go up around that area. So exciting there. The Think Apex Awards, I mentioned those last meeting. They continue to be open for nominations through March 13th. So not a whole lot of time left. Make sure you go to our website to get the nomination form and submit those. A couple celebrations coming up and events. We've got Holy at Salem Middle on the school track. That's this Saturday, March 14th, and that will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And there's a lot of information available on our website about the events there as well. Our classical concert series, the next event at the Halley, it's America celebrating 250 years. That's March 15th from 3 to 4:30. Women's History Month was mentioned. We have an event at the Senior Center, registrations required, that is called Time for Tea. And it's Thursday, March 19th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And the last is the new annual celebration called Shamrock Showdown. It was going through on the different slideshow presentations. It's basically a celebration of basketball, St. Patrick's Day, and community pride. So more details are available on that from our website, and Economic Development has been working on that and partnering with different restaurants, and there's some exciting things around that event. And I believe that is all I have.
All right, great report. Thank you so much. All right, we move now to the town clerk's report.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. We've got 3 items for appointment considerations. If it's the will and the pleasure of the council and the mayor, I'll start with the Board of Adjustment first. We'll start with reappointments. If there's consensus, we'll go forward with the 3 reappointments and take that as one motion. If there is not, then we can separate them out. But the first one is to recommend a reappointment of 3 members, Mr. Umesh Pai, Mr. William Pat Hollenbeck, and Mr. Michael Sayers, to the Board of Adjustment for a 3-year term effective March 1st through February 28th, 2029.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Mr. Umesh Pai, William Hollenbeck, and Michael Sayers.
All right, motion is Zegerman.
Second.
Second, Mayor Pro Tem Mahaffey. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Next is we have 2 additional positions open on the Board of Adjustment. The next is a motion to transfer Aaron Barnes from the Culture and Arts Advisory Board to the Board of Adjustment for a 3-year term beginning April 1st through March 31st, 2029.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Next is a motion to appoint William Gerard to the Apex Board of Adjustment for the unexpired term beginning June 1st through December 31st, 2026. As a reminder, this is a partial term vacancy created by Mr. Hart.
Motion to approve.
Motion Zegerman.
Second.
Second, Gray. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed.
Okay. That is all for the Board of Adjustment.
All right.
Now we will move to the Environmental Advisory Board. We received 8 applications. One of those is requesting reappointment. We'll start with, again, the reappointments first and then move into the new appointees. The reappointment for Mr. Bill Jensen to the Apex Advisory Board for a 2-year term effective February 1st through January 31st, 2028.
Motion approved.
Motion Mahaffey.
Second.
Second, Gray. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay. Motion to appoint Melissa Ripper to the Apex Environmental Advisory Board for a 2-year term effective March 1st through February 28th, 2028.
Motion to approve.
Motion Zegerman.
Second.
Second, Reese. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, and the last one for the Environmental Advisory Board is for Mr. Daniel Valet to the Apex Advisory Board for a partial term. This is effective March 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. This is replacing Patrick Adams and completing his term.
Motion approved.
Motion, Mahaffey.
Second.
Second, move. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, that completes the second one. Then we have the Apex Planning Board. We received 12 applications, so we'll start with the reappointments first. We've got Alyssa Bird, Daniel Cotterprast, Stephen Rhodes, and Christy Yule, all seeking reappointments for a 2-year term. This would be effective January 1 through December 31st, 2027.
Motion to approve.
Motion Zegerman.
Second.
Second, Gray. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay. We've got an additional ETJ position, or not additional, but a vacant position in our ETJ. As you all know, Tim Royal has reached the maximum amount of terms that he can serve, so he has been serving as a holdover until his replacement is named. Mark Spinoli meets the criteria for that. He's currently on the Multimodal Transportation Advisory Board, so he is asking to be transferred to the Planning Board. This will be for a 2-year term effective April 1st through March 31st, 2028.
Motion approved.
Motion, Mahaffey.
Second.
Second, Zegerman. Discussion?
I just want to say thank you to Mr. Royal for his hard work on this board and taking the time to continue to serve in that role well past his time. So much appreciated.
Thank you for that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Okay. And then the last one of the 12 applicants, we received 3 nominations for Tendui Zhang, 2 nominations for Chiron Nebelese, and so we need some direction for the additional position that is still vacant on the Planning Board.
I make a motion that we temporarily hold this appointment and make further discussion about the process in April, on April 21st, the council work session to discuss how we can make the procedure more clear and make it a, adoptable rule for future appointments.
Okay, all right, we have a motion from Councilmember Mu.
Second.
Okay, we have a second discussion. I just want to add one thing, and I appreciate your conversation today. I think we were able to discuss some options and solutions, but I'll add this. As we move forward with this process, I guess I would just like to know what is the value of the mayor's recommendation on these nominations. So I do want to drill down to that, and then really understanding the purpose and scope of what we're doing with these boards. So I appreciate it, though. It was a good discussion.
Yes, I
as we
appreciate
move
it.
forward.
I think it's good we discuss it on April 21st, so we can set up a clear procedure for this time and future appointments, because this way we can avoid, conflicts. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say, I think it will clear up too with this once we discuss. I know there was like one council member who nominated, and it was fine, nominated, like 2 people on the same board. That's fine, so it's a nomination. So I do want to clear that up as we move forward. So good discussion. We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, anything else? All right, we did it, thank you. Okay. It is time for public forum. Best parts of the meeting. We want to hear from the community. We value what you have to say, and just remember your time. If you're speaking for yourself, it's 3 minutes. If you have a group of 4 or more, you get 9. So we'll go ahead and kick off the public forum tonight, and the first speaker, you have Dr. Michelle Hoffner-O'Connor. You have 4 or more people. All right, raise your hand if you're here with the doc. All right, the red shirts in the house. I see you. All right, 9 minutes. Mr. Coleman.
No laptop tonight? This is not picking up. Oh well. Michelle, this might illustrate my point. Michelle Hoffner O'Connor, 2664 Jordan Point Boulevard. Good evening, everyone. I think we're all very happy, relieved we get to move forward with newer discussions regarding data centers. We no longer have to worry about the burden of the application. We get to talk about all the other things we need to. I had invented this idea. It was going to stay together before the Natellis had withdrawn, but like any good innovator, I reworked it for tonight because I think it's very important that we recapitulate certain things as we move forward. If you've seen the movie The Big Short, you can pretend that I'm Ryan Gosling for the next 8 minutes and 26 seconds. If not, I will briefly explain. There is a scene where Ryan Gosling's character stands in front of Steve Carell and his group and explains what collateralized debt obligation, or CDO, is, and how these are rated from AAA to C. This tower was supposed to represent that. Unfortunately, it's already fallen apart, much like many data centers. But that's not the point. Anyways, we could look at data centers the way we looked at mortgage-backed securities. They have different ratings based on how they're developed, the technologies they use, etc. There are people behind me clutching their pearls at the idea that there might be a AAA-rated data center out there. But let's go through what should be the tower. The bottom would represent our Cs, our very bad data centers. These are things that Elon Musk has built. Boxtown, Tennessee, Mississippi, the ones where the methane generators are going full blast, in addition to all of the other issues with the technology that he's established. People are having horrible health issues. Sound is up above 70 dBA for the Mississippi one. Everyone's living in misery. We don't need to discuss those much further. When it comes to our top tier, is there a AAA? What do we envision that to be? Noiseless, waterless, ability to free cool, no generators, etc. Do these exist? In fact, they do. Not really in the United States, though. Scandinavia, perhaps, because it allows the data centers can free cool in that environment, right? It's very cold there. I mean, those data centers use water maybe 6 days of the year. Not only do they not put strain on the grids in those countries. They actually add to the grid. They bring their own power, and it's clean and it's green. When we think about something like Data Center Alley, it's actually very varied. There are some that would be in the A tier, some that would definitely be in the C tier, but most are in the middle with the Bs. These are the classic data center that we see all the time. It's standard. The problem with standard, of course, is that what it really means is that it's subprime. It has those noisy generators. It doesn't follow the noise ordinances. You know, in Virginia, they had by right ability to just come in for years and years. And, you know, now that's ending. But unfortunately, it's created an unsustainable condition for that area of the state. And that's happening in different areas around the country. I want to go back to the application that came here. By a show of hands, does anyone from our town council or our mayor believe it was an A-rated data center? How about a B-rated data center? I see I'm not going to get any responses. C's, anyone? Okay, well, if we were to rate the Natelli application, it would have been a double B. What does a double B represent in terms of, say, the housing market? Well, it represented something that made people a lot of money, but also resulted in a lot of people losing their homes. People had received subprime loans, they couldn't pay their mortgages, they lost their homes, and yet people were betting on this. They were making millions upon millions, if not billions of dollars off of this. When we think about what this represents in Apex, what this represents around the country, it represents old technology that's cheap and prioritizes the end user and the profits the developer is gonna make, not the people who are gonna be living near it. And that's a problem. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, you know, in this town, we say we have the peak of good living. So why are we accepting what is essentially garbage? Or why were we considering it? I understand that we have to go through the process, we have to consider it. But at the same time, we all need to realize that what was being put forth to us, what the developer was standing up here trying to convince us of, was a lie. It was laziness. It was his ability to make quick, easy money. It was the ability for the end user, whoever it might have been, to build a cheaper data center than what it would cost to do something that could sustain free cooling and not use, and bring in its own power and, you know, be the Scandinavian model. It was something that would have caused harm to our homes. It would have something that would have been very costly to our homes. Between maintenance of our plants, the effects of the lower air quality on our health, our bills were gonna go up in astronomical ways that go beyond the increase in power that we're facing from Duke Energy. So I think this is very important for this council, for our planning department, for everyone to think about moving forward. Because as we talk about the ethics, the values, the feasibility, et cetera, we need to not only consider how you build a data center. Can we build I'm not gonna even say good, the best one for the area that doesn't bring harm to our community? And if the answer is no, it means it can't come here. So with that, I'm not going to spend all of the rest of this time talking. I do want to encourage everyone in this room, remind everyone that our downtown is hurting. We have gotten a very big win, and I recommend everyone go to their favorite watering hole afterwards downtown to get a drink and raise a glass to the fact that the Natellis are no longer here. Thank you all. I'm gonna leave this here for now. I'll come back for it later.
All right, Karen Deventhal.
I brought my own prop too. I'll leave it right here so you can see it. And hold on for dear life. Karen Delventhal, 507 Homestead Park Drive in Apex. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Town Council. Tonight I would like to discuss the yard waste disposal thing. It's a thing. I understand the budget, which suddenly you are concerned about, and lifespan of equipment and manpower and all the rest of it. But did you consider your gray area? I'm talking about us experienced folks who are much older than you youngsters. I'm 74, proud of, disabled, with an attitude, in case you can't tell. I already have a hard time getting the trash and recycling cans to the curb. My cans are heavier than the waste inside. I must maneuver these cans to the curb myself and then get them back inside my garage every week myself, unless the town doesn't pick it up. If it is wet, snow, or ice, the cans still must go. The HOA requires that the cans are either inside the garage or behind my house. In case you haven't noticed, I also travel with this thing, commonly called a rollator. I travel with this thing. That's 6 wheels back and forth twice each week. Now you want to add 2 more wheels with branches and sticks and leaves that is going to get heavy? You also say this won't include leaves, but not sure what that means. And you didn't say if that includes pine needles and pine cones and nuts, which are byproducts of trees. Are they considered like leaves in this mystery? Plus, if I must put those in the can, I will need about 10, which would be 20 wheels and probably EMS. Yes, I have that much year-round if I have to put in the leaves. And this would be weekly, regular wind. We get a big good blow or bi-weekly pickup, that's going to overflow and blow everywhere. And before you fix your lips to say that the town has a service that will take care of that, I checked, and no, you don't. I also don't remember any official public notice on this. So, what are you smart folks going to do about this? I'm not the only experienced person in Apex. Man,
Thank you for speaking tonight. Thank you. All right, Don Casalino.
Dawn Casalino, 3632 Bosco Road. Good evening. Before coming to Apex, Town Manager Randy Vosberg served as County Administrator in Stafford County, Virginia, one of the fastest growing counties in the country. During the time there, he advanced a government budget exceeding $1 billion, which actually raised people's property taxes by about 7.8%. But Stafford County also invested in transparency. Residents can view financial data through the OpenGov platform, and the county maintained a searchable public records portal so citizens could easily access government documents. Mr. Vosberg clearly had the experience and tools to bring that same kind of transparency to Apex. Instead, we're seeing the opposite. Public records requests are delayed for months, sometimes years, despite the requirements of NCGS 132. I'll come back to that in a minute, but wanted to talk about fiscal responsibility. Probably didn't hear this. Just 10 days ago, WRAL reported Apex is facing a $10 million gap in utility funds tied to the billing system problems. I think that was in 2024. Where will the $10 million come from? And we could tack on the $5 million monopoly money. When will Apex's CEO, the town manager, tell the public exactly what happened and how this gap occurred? Goes to the heart of the matter. Town manager, mayor, council members, town clerk, all take an oath of office. That oath of office is not just paperwork. It is a promise to faithfully serve the public and uphold the law. In the movie The Matrix, Morpheus offers a choice. You take the blue pill, the story ends, and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. The taxpayers of Apex fund this government. The surrounding communities of New Hill and Friendship live with the consequences of its decisions. We deserve transparency, we deserve accountability, and the people of Apex deserve the red pill. Thank you.
Thanks, speaking. Elizabeth Stitt.
Elizabeth Ray Stitt, 3113 Friendship Road, Mayor, Town Council. Good evening. We have a very diverse community of over 75,000 people, but yet we do not have a consistent way to share information out. Back in the day, we had the Apex Herald. Some of you who are newer may not realize we actually had a town newspaper. So if you wanted to know what was happening in Apex, you would just go pick up the Apex Herald. And if you didn't have the dollar to buy the Apex Herald, you could just go up to the library and sit there and read a copy. Everybody had the ability to have access to what was happening in Apex. Fast forward today, there is no Apex Herald. Instead, there's an explosion of social media posts across multiple platforms. Facebook, Reddit, X, etc. Then even if you do use social media, the platform's algorithms may limit what you actually see. For those who don't use social media, they can go to the Apex website. But we all know what is discussed on social media does not make its way onto the Apex website. What's happening is we have a community that doesn't have equal access to information or equal access to participate. We are leaving people behind. So I'm here to ask you tonight to close that gap. So there are some short, simple ways as starters. By no means is this a full list of things that can be done, but each of you have a profile page. Take the time to update your profile page and list all of the platforms that you are on and the handle or whatever name. So if somebody navigates to your profile page and says, oh, you know, I see Shane Reese and I want to know what he has to say, he's list his different handles, then someone could go click and can see what Shane has to say. But if it's not listed someplace, you're doing the luck of the draw. You get on Facebook, you Google, you know, you require the barrier to be difficult, and not everybody is going to get the same result. Then I would like for the town to add a tab to the website, the town's website. And as you guys make posts, I would love just to be a chronological and a link that you go out and make a post on January 1st, I can go click it and it take me to the post. Because people need to have access to the information. We do not need to put barriers up in our community. If this is the peak of good living, let's please engage everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill Welch.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, town staff, and members of the public. My name is Phil Welch. I live at 1471 Big Leaf Loop in Apex. Okay. I'd like to follow up on Rick Beach's plea to you last month. He pleaded for the town's help so that the dream of serving and living in Apex would not stop with his generation. First, I'd like to step back take a step back to understand the lack of affordable housing choices, especially for our low and moderate income neighbors. Next, I'll estimate the number of affordable homes needed to provide those choices. And finally, I'll propose specific programs and funding and suggest ways to attain that funding. At the most basic level, the issue of what I call the lack of affordable housing choices comes down to a mismatch between the number of homes which are available for rent or for sale and the number of those homes which are at price points that households at various incomes can afford, especially for our low and moderate income neighbors and especially for essential workers. So what is Apex's estimated need for affordable housing choices over the next 10 years? In 2022, an estimated 18,000, or about 87% of the workers in Apex were commuting from outside town into town, most likely because they couldn't afford to live here. In 2023, an estimated 2,400, or 41% of renter households, and 21,000, or 12% of owner-occupied households, were paying more than 30% of their total household income for housing expenses. That is simply not attainable or not sustainable. In addition, as pointed out in last year's update to the 2021 Affordable Housing Plan, Apex will need to provide affordable housing choices for an estimated 3,600 additional low to moderate income households looking for homes over the next 10 years. Last year's Affordable Housing Plan update estimated that just to help fill the gap in additional homes, we would require about $14 million of town funding for each of the next 10 years. As you may know, Apex's current penny tax for the Affordable Housing Fund raises about $2 million annually. The plan update, which the council unanimously approved last June, observed that doubling the penny tax could catalyze about 1,000 units over the next decade. That would leave the town short of at least 2,600 homes for households earning up to 80% of the area median income. Another way to approach this is to look at increasing funding for existing and proposed affordable housing choice programs. For example, number one, doubling the funding for home repair programs to $1.25 million in fiscal year 2027. This will help our lower income neighbors, especially our esteemed seniors, to stay in Apex and age in place. Number two, committing at least $1 million annually to purchase and develop town-owned land, such as the South Hugh Street development. Number three, providing at least $1 million annually for gap funding for tax credit developments. Number four, budgeting at least $500,000 annually for gap funding to preserve and rehabilitate existing tax credit program funding housing. And finally, number five, offering at least $1 million annually in financial incentives for developers to provide affordable housing choices across a wider range of household incomes. I imagine there may be other programs and funding that the town staff might propose for this list. It's clear that significantly more funding is needed in order to fulfill Apex's vision of welcoming people of diverse backgrounds, including all incomes, ages, and abilities. Affordable housing developers and town staff already know about funding from other sources, including the county, the state, and the federal governments. I believe the town is also exploring additional sources and mechanisms for funding, including a housing bond, and employer-assisted housing programs. Funding from community-minded corporations, philanthropies, and foundations also deserves investigation. I hope this exchange is the beginning of a productive conversation with you as elected officials, town staff, other local leaders, and housing choice advocates, with the goal of realizing the dream of continuing to serve and live in the peak of good living. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Will. Elizabeth Brunner.
timer before. I'm so glad. Like easier. Hello, I'm Elizabeth Bruner, 306 Hinton Street in Apex. I'm proud to be a bus rider. I am deliriously happy that we have a bus in town, and I'm really grateful for the town's investment in expanded service. Sunday coming, we're going to have twice an hour frequency, lots of good things. Unfortunately, I'm here with a gripe. November 1st should have been a celebration as the new Go Cary Route 9 launched between downtown Apex and downtown Cary. I was very excited to be one of the very first riders that morning, but unfortunately, on that same date, Go Apex and Go Cary rolled out a new Ford E-Series Arbus bus that has a steep boarding slope. It's just this climb up, which is making life hard for some riders. That bus design is fundamentally flawed. In contrast, the Go Triangle bus that passes through Apex on Route 305 has an entirely flat, risk-free entrance that anyone can easily step aboard. Our most vulnerable riders are being hurt by that upward bus climb on Go Apex and the even more precarious downward slip and fall slope. Young, able-bodied riders, probably all of you, would not even notice that there's a mountain to climb. But for seniors, people with walking canes, riders who are frail from cancer, anyone with back pain, arthritis, bursitis, prosthetics, tremors, unsteady gait, we struggle getting onto the bus. Boarding the bus should not be scary for 20% of our riders. These are the people who could previously ride independently despite some physical constraints. But the steep slope of the bus is disabling. The bus itself disables us. It makes minor impairments really difficult. A serious risk is falling face down into the cement as we disembark, break our hips, end up in a nursing home, wipe out our retirement savings, die prematurely. And you can see that level of fear as the oldest riders clutch the awkwardly positioned handrails and carefully climb upward. Older riders and anyone with physical limitations deserve safety and accessibility. Because of the slope danger, bus drivers have become more willing to extend the ramp, which elongates the slope, but there are no ramp handrails, and the ramp's metal edge acts as a trampling hazard. That feels like a bad workaround. I'm concerned that Go Apex will add a second steep slope bus vehicle when frequency improves next month. Please, I'm urging the town, insist upon a safe, flat boarding entrance for every single bus operating within Apex. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bruner. Lawrence Kevin.
Good evening, Lawrence Kevin, 1628 Salem Village Drive. I'm going to talk about data, not data center. So, and this is where I spoke at the planning board meeting about the Tingen crossing yesterday, so you can watch that on YouTube. But so I'll cover some of the points I made there. So the one is it's potentially a $10 million project, and it's for a pedestrian tunnel underneath the railroad tracks. So again, it could be a very big cost. One of the things that wasn't presented was any data, current data of the use of that pedestrians and bicycles that would cross the tracks. Personally, like I'm from Salem Village, I don't even go that direction. I actually go up James Street and South Hughes if I'm heading this direction to the campus. I did mention that at the public forums. I didn't see it collected or presented as any data point that I brought up. Again, the other a big driver for the pedestrian is CSX. CSX is closing Tingen tunnels. I mean, it seems like it's an ironclad agreement that has to go. They're going to close it off. They're going to put fences up, and that's what's driving the big data point to put a tunnel through there. Part of the data for that is there was an S-line planned, or at least in a feasibility study. My understanding is that's not going to happen. That would increase traffic, train traffic, and that's not going to happen. So maybe we need to revisit the use of a tunnel. Now, or a grade crossing. I think there is going to be one that's going to be needed across 55, which is a more use into downtown and the mobility center. I would like to see the money or the direction of the planning go towards that as a prioritization. Again, right now it could be 10 million, it could be 5 million if there's some funding for it, but 10 million, 5 million goes a long way to our Vision Zero program for safety. That can go towards crosswalks or lights or traffic signals. I mean, I just see the money being better spent towards that. The other thing I want to talk about is, again, referring to the data. I mean, obviously the streetscape, went from $2 million to $4 million, and I kind of put on my hat and say, why did that happen? I've asked in the past for what I call 3D model data for the Peakway. I've repeatedly asked over a 4-year time period, to the point I looked at contracts and VHB had no reason to provide that. It wasn't provided to the town. So I think going forward, the town needs to ask for that data. That's helpful in the bidding process and in the construction. What we get is an end deliverable from VHB and these contract companies that are making $1 million off the project is a 2D sketch and a bill of materials. We're way beyond that, and the data could be used for a variety of different things as far as like planning. I mean, there's a whole, if you look up BIM model data, I mean, that's what, I'm sure they're using software to do it, but we're not getting the end result.
Thank you so much for speaking. Danielle Martin.
I did have a handout as well for the council. All right, Danielle Martin, 1013 Smokewood Drive. It was a great relief to learn late last week that Natelli Industries rescinded their data center proposal, and I'm grateful to my fellow Apex residents who have already spoken at length about the ecological, health, and safety impacts of the data center. With the proposed 1-year moratorium being decided this evening, and having already prepared the research, I would like to voice my encouragement of the moratorium by discussing the fiscal value of those data centers, jobs, and taxes. The immediate promise is always the construction jobs, but these are short-term, often lasting only 12 to 36 months, and utilizing specialized labor that is often brought in from outside of the town instead of sourced locally. This is currently happening in Abilene, Texas, which has an influx of 6,000 workers in a town of just over 100,000, resulting in a housing and rental crisis, driving prices up dramatically and pricing out local residents. The majority of these 6,000 workers are expected to leave once the construction is complete, but the damage to local residents is already done. For long-term jobs, we can look to Washington County, Oregon. Of the county's 11 data centers, the jobs per data center range from 4 at the lowest to 58 at the highest. So if the promise of jobs isn't real, what about taxes? Well, to build and operate an AI data center, you need 3 fundamental components: the physical building, known as the powered shell, the compute hardware, and a tenant who will use the compute. 2 of the 3 components I just listed receive tax exemptions as part of North Carolina's incentives for qualifying data centers. Property taxes may be another source of income, but there's no transparency about whether or not the project would be incentivized by property tax breaks. That leaves us with only taxable revenue as the only hope for any fiscal benefit. The most common business model for these data centers is for neo-cloud companies to commit to 15-year contracts with data center shell developers like Natelli Industries and sign a 4 to 5-year contract with AI compute companies like OpenAI. It sounds great in theory, except none of these companies are profitable. In fact, all of them are billions of dollars in debt and accruing even more. The entire industry is built on top of NVIDIA's GPUs, often funded by NVIDIA through effectively vendor financing. Neocloud groups such as CoreWeave have acquired tens of thousands of NVIDIA GPUs, which are then used as collateral for even more loans, an asset that depreciates over the course of 6 years. The rapid growth has raised concerns about the potential for more risky lending, circular financing, and NVIDIA's chokehold on the AI market. In the past week, this has been exceedingly apparent, with the private capital scaling back on the loans they have been offering, given that they have not seen the return on their investments. Last June, David Kahn, partner at venture firm Sequoia Capital, said there was a $500 billion gap between the revenue expectations implied by the technology company's AI infrastructure build-out and the actual revenue growth in the AI ecosystem. You don't need to be an economist to realize the math doesn't add up. So I encourage the moratorium. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, that was the last person that signed up to speak. Thank you, everyone who came out tonight to speak for a public forum. We'll close that now. We move now to proclamations and special presentations, and we have 3 proclamations tonight. So we'll start with the first one, Ask Apex Day. All right. All right, we're all set. Okay, proclamation for Ask Apex Day 2026, and we'll join together on the reading. We'll start with Councilmember Reese.
Whereas the town of Apex is committed to providing responsive, accessible, and transparent local government services to our residents, and
whereas Ask Apex serves as the town's centralized customer service center, offering residents one number, one point of contact, and clear accountability for non-emergency service requests and information, and
whereas centralized service models such as 311 enhance efficiency, improve cross-department coordination, reduce confusion, and strengthen communication between residents and local government, and
Whereas 311 Day is recognized nationally on March 11th as an opportunity to celebrate local government customer service professionals and highlight the essential role they play in strengthening public trust and civic engagement, and
Whereas the town of Apex extends its appreciation to the Ask Apex team for their diligent work each day, assisting residents, resolving concerns, and connecting our growing community with the services it needs.
Now, therefore, I, Jacques K. Gilbert, Mayor of Apex, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, Ask Apex Day in the town of Apex, and encourage residents to recognize and appreciate the dedicated professionals of Ask Apex and reach out to our excellent Ask Apex staff with your town questions and concerns at 919-249-3311. I'm gonna repeat, 919-249-3311. And here tonight to receive the proclamation is our very own Community Development and Neighborhood Connections Director, Ms. Marla Newman. Also, Darla Bryant, Ask Apex Manager, Tamika West, Town Services Specialist 1, and Alejandra Painter, Town Services Specialist. I hope I got that right. So please come up and receive your proclamation. Right this way. Thank you so much.
He doesn't bite.
Let me know. All right. Okay, are you good? Okay, our second proclamation is Regional Creek Week 2026, Sunday, March 15th through Saturday, March 21st. And Kicking us off is Councilmember Zegerman.
All right, this is a proclamation for Creek Week 2026. Whereas Regional Creek Week, started by the NC Clean Water Education Partnership, also known as CWEP, in 2021, is a special week set aside where CWEP affiliated local governments concurrently work together to celebrate and steward local creeks and streams. And
whereas the town of Apex is located within 7 different river basins, 3 of which flow into Jordan Lake. And
whereas through the collective efforts of local governments, organizations, and individuals working together, our community continues to educate residents about the necessity of protecting these vital waterways. And
whereas creeks, streams, rivers, and other waterways support outdoor recreation, fisheries, healthy lifestyles, safe drinking water supplies, biodiversity, natural beauty, and provide critical habitat for aquatic wildlife. And
whereas the town of Apex is excited to celebrate Creek Week by hosting a big sweep cleanup event on March 14th, a youth trackout camp educational program on March 18th, and an invasive plant species removal work day on March 20th.
Now, therefore, I, Jacques K. Gilbert, Mayor of Apex, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim the week of March 15th through March 21st, 2026, Creek Week in the town of Apex, and urge all residents to join in the vital work of protecting our waters and investing in the healthy future of our planet. Receiving the proclamation tonight is Nora Skinner, from Environmental Programs Coordinator here at the town of Apex, Ellison Lambert, Volunteer Coordinator, Raquel Gamble, Stormwater Specialist, Jessica Bolin, Stormwater Engineering Manager, and Jimmy McClure, Stormwater Compliance Specialist too. So please come up and accept the proclamation. What's that? Serious, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody say Creek Week. Creek Week. All right, great. Any words? All right.
I'll say that this is the first year that Apex has been formally involved in Creek Week, so we're just really excited and happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. All right, our final proclamation is honoring the courage, foresight, and resolve of women 2026. And to start this proclamation is Councilmember Moo.
whereas the town of Apex proudly joins communities across the nation in recognizing March as a time to celebrate the history, achievements, and enduring contributions of women, and
whereas the observance of Women's History Month reminds us that the story of progress in our nation and in our town has been shaped by the vision, courage, and perseverance of women who broke barriers, strengthened communities, and expanded opportunities for future generations. And
whereas the growth and vitality of Apex has been guided by the dedication of women who have served as educators, entrepreneurs, public servants, healthcare professionals, civic leaders, volunteers, innovators, and caregivers. each contributing to the strength and character of our beloved community. And
whereas women in Apex continue to lead with purpose and compassion, helping our town thrive through service in local government, leadership in business and nonprofit organizations, mentorship of young people, and advocacy for a vibrant and inclusive community. And
whereas Women's History and Appreciation Month provides an opportunity not only to honor the remarkable women who shaped our past, but also to express gratitude for the women whose leadership, creativity, and commitment continue to shape the future of Apex. And
whereas by recognizing both the historical and present-day impact of women, we affirm that values of opportunity, equality, and community that define the spirit of Apex.
Now, therefore, I, Jacques K. Gilbert, Mayor of the town of Apex, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim March 2026 as Women's History and Appreciation Month in the town of Apex. And I urge all residents to celebrate the rich history of women's achievements while also expressing appreciation for the women whose leadership, service, and dedication continue to shape our community. And here to receive the proclamations tonight, I want all of the women on our Town of Apex staff to come up. We also have Kunjang Lee Zhang, Lily Liu, Deidre Day, Andrew Geary, Sushma KC, Sarushi Dave, Ivania Morano, Dr. Mana Rosa Rangel, Samantha Moreno, and Zong Young. Please come up.
But you're at the end, that's fine. Let's have some of you come on this side right here. Try to eat it out a little bit. Probably need them in the middle and y'all kind of on the outside, maybe.
Okay.
All of us in the middle and they'll come back.
Let's do. Yeah.
Oh, we'll keep
Do
it.
you want us down here?
It's fun for us.
Oh, we'll stay down
Do you have one? Let's slide down just a little bit more this way.
Ellen?
Do we want to go up?
Let's spread some more. I know, we need to stay right here.
Some people over here.
You want us up back? Well, council should be like right there. Should we get over here? Behind them.
I see taller people in the back. I see.
No. Still come this way just a little bit more. Count. There you go. All right. Somebody's got to make me look good.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Well, 3 years ago, I moved to Apex. As Apex resident, it is the second time I attending Proclamation. Last time was Lunar New Year. So I feel so proud of living in Apex, such a diverse, inclusive, and supportive city. Well, as a community health worker, as a mom of 2 girls, I have the privilege of supporting families, especially women, moms. So I truly believe when we support women, moms, our family, we strengthen our family, and our whole community thrives. Thank you so much for this recognition. Thank you.
Appreciate you being specific. All right, colleagues, thank you so much for the proclamation readings. We'll take a 7-minute recess. 7 minutes.